is how to build capacity. Okay, this is part 1. Part 2, sorry. Today is 1st of 4, 2025. So we have to look at this. And we have the sub topic which says that how do you build capacity? So, okay, how do you build capacity to succeed? Because you are the main factor here. Okay, we have outlines already, and there are about 4 of them. So the first outline there is the critical success factor. Okay. Success factor. And number 2 outline we have is 80%, 80-20% rules. And number 3 outline we have, because the major challenge in business is not the equipment. Because the major challenge in business is not the equipment, it's not the staffing, it's not the application, it's not the marketing, it is you. You are fundamentally the critical success factor. The leader is a fundamental, the critical success factor, the visionary, the person with the calling, with the assignment, with the, of course, with the dreams, with the goals, either in business, investment, ministry, organization, movement, pioneering, adventure. It doesn't matter. So you are the most important factor. You are the most critical success factor. Until you grow, nothing will grow. Until you improve, nothing will improve. So everything rises and falls on you. Therefore, you must assume and take responsibility to make the that you need to make to produce the result and the desired outcomes you want. So if you shift responsibilities and place it on others or other factors, you always be a victim of circumstances with victim mentality. The moment you shift responsibility, you don't want to assume it, you don't want to take it, that means you're shifting your dominion. I say, I'm not in charge. This is what is in charge. My father is in charge, my mother is in charge, the economy is in charge, the president is in charge. That's why my life is not working, because I'm not in charge. But actually, you actually become a victim of circumstances with a victim mentality. So a sense of responsibility will give you power in, to make the change, to break barriers, to overcome obstacles, to find solutions, to remain a victim of circumstances. The world around you will not change until the world within you change, until the world inside of you change. The change you want on the outside, the change you want on your finance, the change you want in your business, the change you want in your circumstance, the change you want on the outside will never change until the change, of course, until the world inside of you change, until your mindset change, until your imagination change, until your, of course, what you think change, until the picture in your mind change. So the world around you is always a reflection of the world within you. So we established that fact yesterday as a critical success factor, that the world, whatever you're experiencing in your life, is through a reflection of who you are on the inside. If you're a hot person, hot people hurt others. Love people give love. Kind people give kindness. Of course, whatever you have on the inside, that's what you will give on the outside, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So every cup has, if something is not inside, you cannot pour in it. So it's not saying, God, I want money. One is okay, because God answers your prayers by giving you ideas, by giving you, of course, a strategy, and that is how God works. So instead of saying, I want money, why not say, I want to produce solution, I want to offer solution, I want to offer ideas. So that leads us to 80%, 20% rules as I yesterday. So we discussed yesterday that 80%, 20% rule says that 80% of your best outcomes are caused by 20% of your input. So if 20% of your activities produce is responsible for the 80% of your outcomes, so you need to focus on that 20% of that activities that produce the 80% of the results that you're having right now. So you must conduct internal audits. You must sit down to write out your activities for the day, your schedule. You have to your work list. So you have to look at the top 20 activities that you do that give you the 20% of the results you have, and then focus on them. Because the reason why these activities are hidden, invisible, is because they are happening inside of your mind and the heart of entrepreneur, as a leader, as a visionary. So 80% of what determines business success, organization, marriage, investment is invisible and hidden in the heart. So yesterday we ended the class by telling us that business and leadership success is 80% psychology. That's what we discussed yesterday. So we did, and 20% strategy. So strategy. And number 2, we said that success in business and investment and marriage and anything is 80% mindset, 80% mindset, and 20%, of course, methods. Okay, so we also told us that 80% of what is happening is your will, and 20% is the way. So without a will, there is no way. So what determines, of course, and 80% energy, 80% energy, and 20% equipment. Okay, so the problem is that it's not equipment first, it's the mindset, the one that constitutes. And number 5, 80% skills and competence. Supposed to learn the skills and competence. And 20% systems and structures. 20% systems and structure. So we discussed yesterday by telling us that okay, you need this other one. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. So what is happening inside of your mind and heart is already of a leader is what determines his success. Whatever how you think, what determines your success is over this side. Okay, let me use a black marker here. Whatever determines your success is invisible. You cannot see psychology, you cannot see mind, you cannot see will, you cannot see energy, but you can always see equipment, you can always see systems and structure, you can see method. But whatever is happening inside of your heart, your will to focus on your determination and become resilient won't take no far for you to have your answer. So that you must be extremely super focused on the ideas of your mind. So anyone that ever achieve and sustain outcomes and results are always energetic and enthusiastic. So I would like us to continue where we stopped yesterday on 80% rules. So I know we stopped around here yesterday. So I would like us to write this down, very, very important, on your notes. Tools are only as good as the technician who uses them. Tools are only as good as the technicians who uses them. So any tools we are giving you, the forms, the flyer, whatever you are giving to you, the hammer, the chisel, if you're a carpenter, is as good. Tools are only as good as the technicians who uses them. So tools don't just act on their own. You don't act on the skills and the competence of the technician. So it's not about the business. It's not about the poultry farming. It's how good are you as a person, because whatever they give to you will definitely take your energy, will take your personality. If you're a good person, that will be good. You're a disciplined person, that will be disciplined. You're hardworking, you see the reflection. If you're a lazy person, you see. So tools are only as good as the technicians who uses them. Write down, full stop. A bad workman always quarrel with his tools. A bad workman always quarrel with his tools. This business is not working. This tool is not working. He doesn't know how to use it. A bad workman always quarrel with his tools, because tools are only as good as the technicians who uses them. So that is how these things work. So you just sit there and say, things are not working for me. That is not the truth. They are not saying the truth, because you are not skillful, you are not competent. You've not done the 80% of the things that entrepreneurs do that make them successful. So if you want to put a world-class tool in the hands of incompetent person, he will not be able to use it with no energy, with no vision, with no discipline. Of course, he's going to produce and sustain nothing. That's what is happening. So for us to win the fight for our family, for our success, for us to win, so we must invest more on our mindset, our energy, our psychology, because it will put us on the top 1% of the world people, success people in the world. So if you internally, write it down on your notes. If you are internally fit, psychologically, mentally, well, if you are internally fit, the seed of greatness, if you are internally fit, then the seed of greatness and success that God planted in you. If you are internally fit, that is psychologically, mentally, your energy, your skill, your competence. If you are internally fit, then the seed of greatness and success that God planted in you will not be choked by the thorns and the curse of this life. So if you're internally fit, you're internally strong, you're psychologically, mentally, well, then the seed of greatness and success that God planted in you will not be choked by the thorns and the case of life, which are the case of this life. So the thorns, which are the case of this life. So if you're internally fit, the seed of greatness and success that God planted in you, will not be choked by the thorns, which are the case of this life. So why many people fail, they quit, they complain, is because they are not internally fit. So when the case of life shows up, they choke them up. When problem shows up, he choke them up. Challenges, he choke them up. So whatever will make a man to quit in the face of adversity, it shows and is an indicative of his strength that is small. But when a man quits on the days of adversity, the strength is small. But if internally fit, then the seed of greatness and success that God planted in you will not be choked by the thorns, which are the case of this life. So all the things that kill people will not be a problem for you. So let's begin to look at where we are going to today. How does capacity look like? Let's go there today. Let's talk about because the 80% of the things that determines your result, of course, is what you should focus on, not 20% of the things. Because a lot of focus on strategy, until if I have the best strategy right now, the best one will succeed. No, why is your thinking faculty? That is why. When somebody is not if you don't, I will talk about it shortly. It's even between winning money and earning money. If you win money, Nigeria coupon, lottery, you win money. If anything happens to that money, okay, you cannot recover because you did not know the skills and the competence and the mindset that you need to do to earn the money. But if you earn money, you make money. Why? The process of making money, you'll be skillful, you have challenges, you overcome them, you have structure for you to earn $1 million. So if anything happens, you already know it because success leave clues. But let's just look at how capacity look like before we go to talk about how you can build capacity to excel and succeed in whatever you do because you are a success. Say, I'm a success. Touch yourself, say, I'm a millionaire. Okay, how does capacity look like? Write this on your notes. The leadership priority for success is capacity building. The leadership priority for success is capacity building. So for any leader to succeed, he has to build capacity. Without that, I would even like to be the critical leadership success is what? Capacity building. I think it will help me a lot. And okay. Write down your note. Building your capacity to achieve your goals. Building your capacity to achieve your goals. Complete your assignments. Building your capacity to achieve your goals. Building capacity to achieve your goals, building capacity to achieve your goals, complete your assignment, fulfill your mission is your number one priority. Building capacity to achieve your goals, complete your assignment, fulfill your mission, etc. is your number one priority. And how do capacity look like? Let me show you how it looks like. I will look at here Genesis 1:28. That will help me to help you out this morning. Genesis 1:28. This happened immediately after God created man in Genesis 1:27. This was when God created man in his image and likeness. So something happened here before God formed man at Genesis 2 verse 7. So before the formation of man, after the creation of man, something happened between the two of them. And what happened between the man that God created and the man that God formed? Because when man, this was the man he created. This is the human that God, that's why you see, they call it human. Because there's a humor in a man that God created. God created a man and put them inside a mud. So inside this container. So something happened, and this thing that happened is more important to me. There's something that happened to the man that God created in Genesis 1 verse 27. So in Genesis 1 verse 28, and the Lord God blessed the man, and he said unto him, be fruitful. So the first thing he told the man was, be fruitful and do multiply. And then he went ahead to tell him that replenish and subdue the earth, and then you shall have dominion. So that means for a man to have dominion, he must be first to do before having. A lot of people, they just want to, a capacity looks like that you become, being is more important than doing, and doing is more important than having. Because even when they present the same case to Solomon did not think about having. Solomon actually, God, I want to be a leader that can lead. They give me wisdom to lead. His purpose is to become that person that can lead. Definitely had every other thing you asked for. A lot of people, they don't want to have results. I'm looking for money. You can't be looking for money and lose sight of your being. Because the first capacity look like that you must become the person first before you can do the things you can do. If you're not the person, you cannot do it. A doctor must become a medical doctor by acquiring the skills and competent anatomy, go to school to be able to practice in the lab before he can collect salary. Even a lawyer must go to school first, become the lawyer before he can practice it, before he can collect money. So everybody in life that sustain whatever they do, even carpenter, tailor, they prioritize being than having. But you know, if you want to, this is how capacity look like. You must prioritize your being before having. Because write it down your notes. Your being is more important than your doing. That's what it works. Your being, capacity looks like your being, placing priority on your being, because your being is more important than your doing. Your being is more important than your doing. It's not about doing first. Read the books, grow your capacity, grow your mindset. Go, I'm going to give you some things to write. Develop the psychological part of your life. Grow, know what you are doing. Read book first. You say no. See, your being is more important than your doing. Come on. Your doing is more important than your having. Full stop. Your doing is more important than your having. The first one is that your being is more important than your doing, and your doing is more important than your having. So don't just go to business, marriage, and this without not becoming the person that can be a husband, that can be a wife. Don't just go to a business and without not becoming the person that can run the business, who have psychological part of the business. So when we give you books to read, it's to grow your mind. We ask you to read Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Secrets of the Millionaires Man by T. Harv Eker, So you want Success by Brian Tracy, of course, Today's the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. All those books we give to you is to develop your being, because your being is more important than what you're doing, and your doing is more important than what you're having. Write down your notes. Out of your highest being, write it this way, out of your highest being will come your best doing. Out of your highest being, underline the word highest being. Out of your highest being will come your best doing. And out of your best doing will come your greatest having. Don't worry, I'll come back again. Out of your highest doing, highest being, out of your highest being will come your best doing. Out of your highest being will come your best doing. And out of your best doing will come your greatest having. Have you seen how capacity looks like? It looks like placing priority on being and doing before having. Out of your highest being will come your best doing. And out of your best doing will come your greatest having. So I can call one more time again, because when people come and you tell the person, see, you must become a millionaire before you go to take the action, before you take the action. I just get some information, as you get the information, you practice. He said, no, I never get a lot. Now a lot that they find. I'm looking for money. Why would you want to have money without not becoming the person that can? That's why you can see anybody will not become. You give him money, he has never become. He will lose it. He will squander it. He will reduce it to his size, to his thinking, to his psychology, mindset, will, energy. He will reduce it. So the first important thing is to increase your psychology, mindset, will, energy before the money comes. At the out of your highest being comes your best doing. Out of your best doing come your highest having. If I've written that one down, shall I? So let me take it one by one, because I want to show something very important. And this is very important because where do I start from? You start from the being, because write it down on your notes. Being, or you can put being like this, and then write it here. Your being is all about number one, your identity. Your being is all about your identity. Number two, are you with me now? So let's pick it one, because I want to show how capacity to look like. So as I'm showing about, let me start from the being. Your right being first. Your being is all about number one, your identity. Number two, acquiring the skills, acquiring the necessary skills to carry out. Number two, acquiring the necessary skills to carry out your vision, your calling, your assignment, your purpose, and achieve fulfillment. Acquiring the necessary skills. Number one is your identity. Number two is actually skills. So acquiring the necessary skills to carry out your vision, your calling, your assignment, your purpose, and achieve fulfillment. So for you to actually become that person, it needs two things to become: your identity and the skills you acquire. Your identity could be your mindset, bracket open, your mindset. Don't worry, we will help you out. Don't worry. I will talk about identity. Let me just clean it. I have to talk about identity differently. Don't sorry. I don't like when I write it and clean. So don't write it down. I said that your being is all about two things. So if I want to become a millionaire, two things must happen. One, your identity. Two, the skills that will make you a millionaire. Acquiring the necessary skills to carry out your vision, your calling, your assignment, your purpose, and achieve fulfillment. These are the things you need. So, but I want to, since you say that capacity looks like being, doing, and having, and out of my highest being will come my greatest doing, out of my greatest doing, my best doing will come my greatest having. So now, how do I become often? Often help me now. I want to become. To become, now two things you need. One, your identity must shift to become that of a person that can achieve that things you want. Number two, your skills and competence must increase. If not, because all things are probable, but all things are possible, but not all things are probable. That means it's possible that you're a billionaire, but what is the probability of manifesting that millions? So the probability will depend on your skills and competence. But you're a millionaire, yes, I know. You accepted it, believe already, because believe means accepting as true. You already believe that you're a millionaire. So are you skillful and competent to manifest the necessary steps to achieve that millions? So the being, what you focus on is two things. Majorly to be, sleep, do, invest. But once you can do these two things, you have the capacity to do and to have the results you want. So your being is all about your identity. And number two, acquire the necessary skills to carry out your vision, calling, assignment, purpose, and achieve your mission. Are you with me? If you are with me, let me also take this one again. Your identity, although we have done this class before, but I will never stop talking about it because that's the major challenge. A lot of people are having identity crisis. They are telling somebody you are going to be a success. You say, am I sure? And my father was poor. You have so much. He identified himself as poor person. He identified himself as broke person. He identified himself as, of course, as a nobody. So when somebody have already put a label on himself, put a negative picture about himself, it's difficult to help that kind of person. No matter what you do for the person, there's an image in his mind about himself, and that image is more important because we are all self-fulfilling prophecies. You want to fulfill, you want to ultimately manifest who you are on the inside, whether that's your subconscious mind, the picture in your mind about your life, and the confessions of your mouth about your life, and the actions you take. So what produces the results you want is the picture in your mind, the words of your mouth. So if you keep telling yourself, I am a nobody, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And with your words you shall be justified, with your words you shall be condemned. And you know, words are powerful. Words are not just sound. Words have the capacity to create, to put fire, to start war, to men, to put peace, to put love. Words are actually, they have the vibration of energy to bring something to pass. Everything God created is word. Let there be light, let there be let there be. That's the word. So, and he created us in his image and likeness. That means our words are powerful. So understand that for you to actually become that person that can create and sustain result and outcome, you must have the right identity. You must have the right skills. Let me pick the word identity. Write on your note. Let's begin to look at it a little bit. Your identity will help you to identify yourself. Your identity will help you to identify yourself as successful, winner, prosperous king. Your identity will help you to identify yourself as a successful, let's put like that, one word, successful winner. I know, successful winner, fine, prosperous king, champion, entrepreneur, investor, a great personality, etc. So your identity will help you to identify yourself as a successful entrepreneur, successful winner, prosperous king, a champion, an entrepreneur, an investor, a great personality, etc. So your identity will help you to identify yourself as a winner, as a champion, as a king, as an entrepreneur, as an investor, as a great personality. So until you identify yourself as one of those great men, you will not. So you can start telling you that I'm a champion, I'm a success, I'm a millionaire, I'm a winner, I'm a king. Of course, I'm a great personality. So until you say you are, nobody will help you in this life. And then nothing is true. So you must identify yourself as a person that of a great status, famous. You must identify yourself as a billionaire. Until you identify yourself as one, you will never become. Even when they give you, you will reduce it. Because one of the things that help people to succeed is self-identity. You identify yourself as a champion, as a king, as an entrepreneur, as an investor, as a great personality, as a winner. So It's very important because this, write it down on your note. This positive self-identity forms your three things. I already mentioned it before, I'll mention again. This positive self-identity forms your number one, self-concept. This positive self-identity forms your self-concept. Self-concept bracket equals to the way you think. This positive self-identity forms your number one, your self-concept, the way you think. Number two, self-image, the way you see yourself. Self-image, the way you see yourself. Number three, self-esteem. Self-esteem, the way you the way you estimate yourself, your self-worth, you know, the way you estimate yourself, your self-worth. So this positive self-identity forms your number one, self-concept, the way you think about yourself. Number two, self-image, the way you see yourself. Number three, self-esteem, the way you estimate yourself, your self-worth, which determines your standard, rules, and what you represent or what you stand for. So I want to give you again. I would like to write on your note, please, even if you've not written anything to write these three things, you will learn. So this will help you a lot. So that from today, stop thinking about yourself as somebody, even though there's no money in your pocket. Don't define yourself, I'm poor, I'm broke. You know, no. Don't ever put a negative badge on yourself. Never. In fact, yesterday I was having meeting with some mastermind leaders, and we actually discussed about how do we put it that okay, I think we need to write it before I even complete this statement. They just keep one line. Let me give you something to write that just enter my mind now before I forget. There is only one healing power. There is only one healing power, which is your subconscious mind, and one process of healing, which is your faith. There is only one healing power. There is only one healing power, which is your subconscious mind, and one process of healing, which is faith. There is only one healing power, which is your subconscious mind, and one process of healing, which is faith. That means if your subconscious mind doesn't accept, it lacks the will and the power to bring it to pass. So your soul must accept that, and if I touch the hem of the garment of Jesus Christ, I'll be healed. If I can just sing, I can be. That's what I can tell them. What do you want? In fact, the problem was that we even discussed yesterday. That other man at the pool of Bethsaida, what do you want? He said, I don't have anybody I'll put inside the water. He said, what do you want? Guy just vexed. So I say, you carry your mat, disappear. You don't know what you want. Get out. You don't know what you want. Only one healing power. Only one thing that will make your mind become a reality. Subconscious mind, which forms your identity. That is the one biggest power in your entire life. So if you identify yourself as a millionaire, you become one. And one healing process, only one process. The process is faith. Process is faith. So if you don't even believe in yourself, you have wrong identity crisis. You know what happened to you? You start identifying yourself. In my family, we have always broke. My face is always like this. When you identify yourself like that, that is the healing power. You cripple it, because we always tell you that faith is a positive factor of belief, and doubt is a negative factor of belief. All of them are belief. Faith is a belief, doubt is a belief. That is that. So yes, now faith is a belief. All of them are belief. But doubt is not belief. So this is positive, this is negative. So whatever you believe will manifest. Whatever you doubt will manifest. So if you are doubting, it will manifest. And the worst thing is to add doubt. How do you put it? Doubt and incompetent. It becomes fear. What do you put it? Doubt and how can you help me now? I forgot. Yes, thank you so much. God bless you. Indecision and doubt becomes what? Fear. Wahala pro max. It leads to anxiety. You become anxious. You don't know how to decide, and you can't add doubt. Join. Your name now. Sorry. Tell us sorry. Where you go arrive, the junction where you go see yourself, the energy that will bring you back to the right spot to start a new journey. Now, I'm telling you, you might not even be able to finish that. Indecision plus doubt, or multiplied by doubt, equals fear. And when fear comes in, that is the enemy has taken over. Because that's the number one weapon of darkness. Fear. Tell no fear. When the Bible says, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of what? Sound mind. Tell no sound mind. mind no go fit sound without knowledge. From mind to sound, knowledge must come in. Tell no knowledge. Who they busy when no invest on his mind? Now they do himself. Tomorrow, decisions will come. He doesn't have content to take this to decide. Doesn't know how to decide. So when it comes to capacity building, it starts from your being. And when it comes to being, it starts from your identity, which consists of three things. Number one is what? Self-concept, which talks about what? The way you think about yourself. Number two, self-image, which talk about what? The way you see yourself. Number three, self-esteem, which talk about what? The way you estimate yourself. Okay, estimate yourself, comma, self-worth, write it down, self-worth. The way you estimate yourself, comma, your self-worth, that determine four things, I mean three things, that determine number one, your standard, number two, your rules, number three, what you stand for. Your self-esteem, talk about your self-estimate, your self-worth, that determines your standards, your rules, and what you stand for. So when you see people that don't have standard in life, because they have low self-esteem. So you talk about your standards, your rules, and what you stand for. Stand for something, because if you refuse to stand for something, you will fall for everything. Find something to stand for. Stand for something, either APC or PDP, either white or black, either darkness or light. You must stand for something, because it's dangerous to be in the middle. In the middle, you'll be a victim at the end of the day. So your sense of being is your who you are, who you think you are, like your who that I am this, that I cannot use that I am negatively, I am a poor man, I am broke. No. So why not say I am God's representative and reflection of God in this world? I am God's offspring, an agency of dominion on earth. Why not say I am a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a CEO of an MD, I'm a president of an organization? Why don't identify yourself with positive things? Because it's going to affect your belief system as a winner. Because every boxer, every footballer, every athlete that wins in every game, they already make up their mind that they're going to win. Because if you think you are not winning, that's where the battlefield, the battlefield of the mind. If you lose in the mind, in the field, of course, it will even affect your preparation. Because when you believe that you win, you see it from your preparation. Because I keep telling you, preparation is the highest demonstration of faith. If you know that you're a we're a millionaire, we're going to see that in your preparation. I am a great personality. We will see that in your preparation. Because if Joseph did not see himself as the top, where the stars and the moon bow down, it would have affected his preparation. When the offer came from the August wife, he would have yielded to it. When the offer came, so many offers, he would have just compromised because of the thing that he saw. He said, I am more than this. I will say no to these things. Because if you don't know where you are going to, every will look like where you are going to. So knowing where you are will determine your discipline. The things you will never do. Me, you can never see me on the outside eating on the roadside. Lie. You know, fit see me, because me, I be king. If we need to eat in this office, I will lock my door, eat inside. And kings, you don't see the way I eat. I don't eat anyhow, because there's a sense of identity in my mind. That I'm a king. Kings don't eat anywhere. Kings don't sit down anywhere. Kings don't do things. You can never see me. Before you see me chop, let me say you dey inside my office. If I will even excuse you. I tell you the truth now. If you give me food, I don't chop in marriage, I don't chop in occasion. For me to chop here, you must take me inside and respect me as I know. I'll carry inside my car, chop inside my car. If not, I don't eat anyhow now. Kings don't eat anyhow. They don't behave anyhow. I just know, because the same identity, the way I carry myself. I know you never even see me do all those things. That is why you can never see me even drink himself. You have to see me drink. If I manage to drink himself, now I hide at the high drink and I just 1 or 2 bottles. Go drink, go high. They talk anyhow, they behave. Who does that? No, now often on the nah. No, if you walk. That is that. You don't see me everywhere. If I'm not invited, I'm not coming. If I'm not invited, that means if the occasion can even continue without me, I may not even come, because if I must be in occasion for that occasion to work. That's why I always there. If I not go there, if I not come the main ingredient for the soup, I know they come. I'm not invited. So the way you see yourself, the way you estimate yourself, the way you carry yourself, that's why other people treat you. And that's why some people can be shouting. So when they come, they cannot shout again now. They have been shouting outside. I say, come, they will follow me. Sit down, they will say, don't shout again, because I don't know that somebody can shout on now. How you shout on me? Do I look like mad or something? I'm a gentleman, let's talk. And once you start talking to me, forget about the rest. Just leave it. So we know how to say from there. The thing that you must identify yourself as a champion. Say, I'm a champion. champions that might win football match, 100 meters race, you don't see him outside. You see him even on the pitch, even on the pitch. When other people are eating, because of who he has seen himself, that will determine his discipline. So not discipline. Who knows himself like champion of football match, 100 meters race? You go see him for in the plaza, Tenor Plaza, arguing about newspaper will not concern them. They have the history of Uyo. They can tell you how Uyo started, how Tinubu faced son, the Sheyi and the rest. We have the history of this whole country. And after discussing people finish, that's it. Poor people discuss people. That's why I don't like talking to them. They like to discuss people. Average men discuss themselves. Wealthy men discuss ideas, and ideas rules the world. Ideas rules the world. That's what we discuss. So your identity will determine your standards, your rules, and what you stand for. So having this high sense of identity will determine your preparation too, because preparation is the highest demonstration of faith. So if you begin to prepare because you're a champion, you're a king, you're a prosperous person, you're a winner, you need to read books as you're an entrepreneur, you're an investor, you begin to read books about investment, how investment work, how money work, how leadership work. What makes you discipline yourself to sit down to read that, acquire that knowledge, acquire that skills and competence is because of the way you see yourself. If you don't see yourself like a doctor, you can never write 𝐊𝐼𝐒 and start medicine and surgery. It's because of the picture in your mind. You don't see yourself like a lawyer. Nothing will make you to go and write 𝐊𝐼𝐒, start studying law. So you must first have a mental picture of yourself as an architect, as an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and as whatever. You must have a mental picture that determines, that will push you toward that acquiring the disciplines of that profession, skills and competence of that profession. If not, if you don't see yourself like a millionaire, even coming here becomes a problem. Every word I say will become offensive. Because you don't see a millionaire, you're angry. I'm wasting my time. Because you don't know what millionaires seek for. I'm telling nothing but the truth. Because why? If you see people that are poor, if it's big poor people, they're happy. You see, they have been plenty in my village, in my junction. Any morning like this, they use kai brush mouth. When they are talking things. Every morning they will leave their house. Poor people, they will gather in the junction. Oh my God, even you're passionate. If you then mistakenly carry one car, one good car, you see, person when he say when I do small, they call him uncle. Now I don't grow, I mean they call me bros. And because of money, because it means like poor person. He said, on the boys. That's why they call uncle don't turn the boys because of you see, he calls himself little boys. Have you seen the problem? You're telling me I'm not the boy, you know, all those things. So it's a problem, self-identity crisis. You cannot help such a man. You're not helping say forget about it. You know who I am. You see when I get more anymore. You know, all those things. So you say we're just sick. You give him this I'm going that damn with me. Nothing. You know, so you can't help such a man. It's difficult because he has placed a wrong identity on himself. Carry one big bash for himself. Carry him. Little boys, you know, we here, help us, we poor people, you know. So you see problem because he has a wrong identity. You can't even, no matter what you do for him, he will never accept it. He will never manifest in his life. So the first thing a man that wants to become, of course, a build capacity must have a right identity. You must see yourself like someone that can never fail. Even when you are in the pit, like Joseph, don't ever think because you're in the pit, you're on the ground, your back is on the ground. No, you're on the ground doesn't mean your back should be on the ground. No, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, but how many times you down. See, falling is not a problem, but staying down is a decision, it's your choice. Life happens now. Everybody passes through life. Life happens in diverse ways. But the thing that don't ever accept your negative condition as a standard of your life. Don't accept it. Because once your subconscious mind accept it, it will surely manifest. So who you become is more important than what you are going to get out of life. Very important. Write it down your notes. Let's write that one out. Try ground out today's class. 5 minutes more. All right, my God. Write that. Who you become is more important than what you will get out of this life. Become that person that is rapturable. Become that person that is worthy of. Who you become is ultimately more important than what you will get out of this life. So it doesn't matter the process you pass on. That process you pass on will determine who you become in the process. So if you're passing through a process of making money, you become armed robber, prostitute, because you want to make money. You become a kidnapper. Okay? A lot of people pass through the process of making money and become great and powerful. So who you become is more important than what you will get out of this life. So if you don't value becoming, don't write that one. Listen to me. If you don't value becoming, more than getting. It will thwart your ability to sustain outcomes and results, because your outcomes and results depends on the process of discipline of your becoming. So you always write it down, very important on your note. If you always get pleasure. You always get pleasure by watching TV, Netflix. You always get pleasure by watching TV, Netflix, DSTV, football, and you always get pleasure. Always, you always get pleasure. Tune into the best channel, the best movie you want to watch. You always get pleasure watching TV, DSTV, Netflix, spending time on the internet, scrolling up and down. You have pleasure, but you will not like who you are becoming. But you will never like who you are becoming. So you always get pleasure watching TV, Netflix, DSTV, football, watching, discussing, scrolling on Facebook. You have pleasure, but you will not like who you are becoming. You will not like who you are becoming, except you are intentional to watch those programs that invest in you. But you just want to go and get pleasure, spending time watching Shaking Bum Bum on the YouTube or Facebook, watching all those skits, all those Sabi lose them. You are happy now. You say, yeah, pleasure, but you not like who you are, because you are spending your time watching people. That is people telling you about their vision, television, turn on television. People telling you about their vision. They are telling you now about their vision. So you are spending time. When will you tell someone about your own vision? So you are spending time watching people that are telling you about their idea, their vision in their mind. They script it. Whatever they think, whether it is, of course, fictures or whatever they call it, why it exists or not, they just write scripts and they get actors to act on the script, and you watch them as happy. So you never ask yourself, when will people watch me? So you have pleasure, but you're not like who you are becoming. But if you spend time denying yourself of those pleasure based on the picture in your mind, read the books, what the things that matters to you, and pass through the process of delayed gratification, you actually love who you are becoming. If you spend time on gym, eating the right food, and leave this fried, if you spend time going to fast food, eat all these fried things, very soon you will not like who you are becoming. You do fat everywhere, but you will not be healthy. But you spend time eating the right thing, discipline yourself based on the picture in your mind, you will like who you are becoming. Write it down on your notes. The wisdom of Solomon was that he prioritized wisdom. The wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized wisdom, knowledge, and understanding more than things and items. The wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized. He placed more value on wisdom, knowledge, and understanding than items and things and what he can get. The wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized wisdom, knowledge, and understanding than items, things, and what he can get. So the wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized wisdom, knowledge, and understanding than things, items, and what he can get. And God gave him a blank check. The wisdom of Solomon is that he prioritized wisdom, knowledge, and understanding than items, things, and what he can get. God gave him a blank check. What do you want? He said, I want wisdom to lead. I want wisdom to lead. And the rest was history. So God gave him not just wisdom to lead, he gave him everything. So Solomon, that's why you can now see. One day, Martha came and said, and told Jesus Christ, I'm the one cooking, washing the plates, and Mary is here. Mary is in your feet, learning. He said, Mary has made the right choice. The right choice is to be on the feet of Christ, learning, than busy. Business is not productivity. Business is not progress. Beware of the barrenness of a busy life. You think because you are busy that you'll be wealthy? Go and check it. The most wealthy people are not busy. We are not busy. We are not busy. We are not everywhere. A man that is busy is randomly on the road. Before you know, and he got a better road. Before you know, and he come back, he's breathing like he's panting. What thing you don't do today, the miss and his hand, why you do that? Never achieve. He never achieve. Always busy. They will send him to go and pay labor bill. He will be the one that will do everything. Now he will run up for compound. And at the end of the day, nothing. So the thing is that Solomon prioritized wisdom to lead. There is no way you prioritize the invisible that the visible will not follow. No man can travel far on the inside and remain still on the outside. You see a man remaining still on the outside is because he has not traveled far mentally. So he has not thought about something that can impact life. That is why he's still remaining still. Still in financially marriage. Any sport you stay too long is not good for you. You know, you also move. Life is full of movement. And movement in the right direction. That is very important because he values who he becomes, who he is, and that is why God actually placed things on him. He was famous, he was wealthy, of course, the wisest man and richest man ever lived. So I would like to end today's class. They're still on building capacity. I've not gotten to where I'm going to yet because I'm getting to somewhere very, very important. But let me drop this one as we round up today's class because of my time. 9:08, so we have to stop. Okay, write this down on your note. Who you become is the difference between winning $1 million and making $1 million. Who you become is the difference between winning $1 million and making $1 million. Who you become is the difference. Who you become is the difference between winning $1 million and making $1 million. Who you become is the difference between winning and making. Because if you win money without the habit and the mindset and the psychology and the lifestyle of rich and wealthy, you will lose the money, you spend it on liability, and you have nothing to show for it after a very short period of time and no way to get it back because you just won. You won lottery, you won coupon, NigerBet. I've been saying this thing now. I know somebody who don't win NigerBet, 2.8 million. The first thing he does is to buy iPhone, buy this, buy television, buy this. And I'm talking to you, you don't sell the iPhone, you don't sell things go far because he uses, I think, 100K, 80K to win that 2-point-something million. From that time to today, he has never won again. He never won big money again. And he has spent more than 3 million naira already. He says, stop this thing. He said, win 2.8 million. Yeah, man, win. And he's spending, he sold television, play another one. Sold the fan, play another one. I think this is what poor people do. He said, me, I get bad math too much. That's okay. Me, I not be talk too much. Me, I know this. Me, I will drop my own. Then the money, I don't use this money. Buy treasury bills. But he said, no. Say, he go buy big jeans with big shoe. He buga. I tell him, say, now what you know, poor people, the first thing they buy is liability. It's not a liability. He no pay himself. He no pay anybody. He enter club, enter my tama, declare drink. I tell him, say, see, this thing, now what poor people they do. He said, declare man 200, 300, you proud for 2.8 million. Small money. You enter your brain. Let me say you just win the money now. You didn't become that person. Because if you make the money, sincerely speaking, the journey of making money through building enterprise, building vision, focus on your energy, building people, building products or services, this will actually form the discipline in that person will form your becoming. So that becoming is more important than anything. So until you have actually have the right identity, the right skill and competence, it becomes difficult to create and sustain results. Let's try this one as we round up today's class. You can lose what you get, but you can never lose who you are. You can lose what you get, but you can never lose who you are as a person and your identity. You can lose what you get, inheritance, but you can never lose who you are as a person, bracket to put your identity. You can never lose it. So you already describe yourself as a, so why, no, you already know who you are. You know, there's a picture in your mind about you. You have it already, you hold it so strong. Nobody can take it away from you. Your skills, your competence, that's things you cannot lose. The skills, your competence, accident happen or something. So you can lose what you get, but you can never lose who you are as a person, bracket open, identity, your discipline, your character, your idea. So the person, okay, let's just stop here because of my time. So by the time I will come tomorrow, I'm going somewhere. I need to lay this foundation of how capacity looks like so that when I start hitting the nail on the head, me, I will not be quarreling about it. But you already have a perception and perspective about what we are doing. And then definitely the idea is to help you build capacity to succeed in your business, in your investment, in marriage, in anywhere you go. So until you have built that right identity, until you build the right skill set, the right, of course, mindset, the right know how to use the right tools, things will not work. So you'll be living like trial and error. And that is very bad because success cannot be created that way. Success must be created and sustained through process. Say no process. Without process, okay, you cannot be transformed, you'll be reformed. Without process, you can never sustain outcomes and results. Without process, okay, it's difficult to repeat the result. But process, the discipline you form in the process makes you become the person that can sustain outcomes and results. So process is not bad. But during the process, you must be intentional and deliberate to have the right identity and to learn the right skills and company which forms your being Your being is more important than your doing, and your doing is more important than having. A lot of people can say, "I'm not saying text. I'm saying text. But I need money." You don't want to do something to get money. You already trusted the whole process now, because the process is to become first before they say make they are too they read book. Now make I just send text, make I just invite people, make I just get alert. If I get alert, I will happy. Now lie news, say no lie news. I don't see the empire. I'm already 10 years in the business. When I was in Port Harcourt, one man said, "Okay, if I just get one alert, I will believe this business. Nothing I never do for this man to get alert." He said, "Okay, 2 alert, 3 alert." And okay, look at me very well. At least I don't pass 30 years. I could do me this kind of thing. You know, if you work. So I'm older than this. And the day I stopped, the man to stop. When I started the business newly in Oka, you know, a lot of people were meeting me. You know, I was so busy doing trainings everywhere, and people were just making money. And the day I fell sick, hey, see call. Often, where are you? I never see a lot. I say I'm not feeling it. Stand up, go and walk. So now me don't become Jackie now. Oh my God, my brain said that day. My brain really lie. So what am I trying to say? You must become. Say not become. Prioritize becoming, because that is more important than your doing and your having. That's the best we can take for today. The online community, don't get involved in a business without a mentor. Reason is because mentorship is a legal shortcut to success. He that stands on the shade of mentor will see far. See you tomorrow, see at the top as we continue the class, and God bless you. Bye bye for now. That's the best we can take. So